do the blurb and then we're going to start talking. Okay.
Okay.
So, welcome to Parenting is Not a Trend, where Gen X will explain how we ruined your life. This is Dr. Cheri, Doctor of Psychology, and Kim, Master of Education and Child Behavior. We're here to help parents untangle some of the trendy social pressures of parenting today. So, welcome. Today, I think we're just going to kind of talk about a little bit like what are we doing and why are we here?
Yeah, who are we to help anybody else with parenting? Because if you're anything like me, I would say not a perfect parent. I don't know what I'm talking about. And it's kind of like I feel like parenting is a lot like teaching because I'm a former teacher. And I feel that when you're in it, when you're in the job, you don't know that you're doing a good job until afterwards when you can evaluate yourself.
That's
So
true.
it's not until your kids probably grow up that you're going to know that you're doing a good job. Um, and of course, your kids will never tell you that you're doing a good job, and
Sure.
quite the opposite. And so I want parents to know that there are a lot of us out there, and not one of us have done it perfectly, and not one of us, despite what everybody says, is really an expert on it. You just know that there are other people out there that are in your corner and shoot and you know supporting you and want you to do well. And um it's just it is a growing experience. It's like, yeah, and like I said, you might not know how well you're doing until you're done doing it. I'm still doing it and my kids are in their 30s, but it's I always think back to that Mark Twain, you know, um, your parents are really stupid when you're 7, when you're 14, they're ridiculous. And by the time you're 21, they're pretty smart.
Right.
Yeah. It's like once they grow up, they realize, oh, wow, you weren't so bad. You were kind of doing things for my benefit. And it was, and I think back to my mom about, we've talked about that before, that I could not get out of small town Nebraska fast enough. I hated being there, even though now I fondly look back on those days and miss the goofiness that was the class of 83. Oh, I just aged us.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
But I was like, oh, mom, why? What were you thinking moving us here to this little town? And I'm just so unhappy. And then realizing as a parent that probably was the best move for us because she was divorced. She wanted to go back to where her family was, where she would have that village that we've talked about to help raise us. And when she was at work, there was always somebody else around that, other mentors and other tutors and teachers and
Sure.
and things for us, and family, cousins and stuff that were there. So again, she didn't know what kind of job she was doing until she got done. And I didn't even know how well she was doing. And now I look back thinking, man, that woman did some Herculean work, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to play devil's advocate just a little bit. With you said you don't always know.
Yeah.
From my job, from the people that I see, there are like I've got too many people that are coming to me where their family is disintegrating. They're in crisis. And
Yeah.
they aren't necessarily doing things right. If you've got a
Right.
kid that is having a tantrum to the point where they are, breaking actual like breaking televisions,
Oh my.
where like you owe Disney World money because your kid did things they weren't supposed
Yeah.
to. To me,
Right.
those are indications that hey, something's going wrong, and
Hmm.
there are some times when something's not right.
Right.
And at that point, is it me as a parent? Is it society? Is it my kid? Is it a combination of everything? How do we fix that? What do we do about it?
Yeah. And I think that's why I love being able to have these conversations with you, because you do have that background and I've got the
You've got what works and what's going right,
and what's going right. Yeah.
and what's
Well, I
going
don't know that what's going right, but all the time. But yeah, no, and I see that. But again, devil's advocate again, on my end is like, isn't are you seeing them at crisis mode because so many parents are buying into that latest fad and that latest trend of what parenting is supposed to be? And maybe that's where they're going off the rails. And because they're trying so hard to be the perfect parent, to look perfect for their friends, and they're not necessarily being perfect for their kid.
That is a great question, and I think that there is a big component of that. I just did just a little bit of research, and because I wanted to, have a few numbers to throw out and be like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
um, the latest that the CDC, and again, like I realize the CDC, everyone is like, the CDC.
Yeah.
But if you look at the National Institute for Mental Health's numbers, they don't have them backed up for the last few years, and the CDC happened to, which is why I was like, oh, this is
Oh,
as of 2025. They're estimating there's an 18% worldwide increase in depression over the last 30 years. Okay, now that may not seem like a whole lot, but the huge jumps, have been since 2020.
right.
Now, obviously, the pandemic absolutely had a lot to do with that. Oh, but there was Titus. Titus had to come and say hi.
Special guest appearance by.
Guest appearance. If we're lucky, Ralphie will come in too.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, the CDC is like, the COVID is definitely part of it, but the CDC actually adds in there some of the trendy parenting things and
Really?
social media. So absolutely, I think that definitely plays a huge role in it.
Yeah.
There's just the the whole social structure where we're like paying so much attention on our phones to what other people are thinking, we're actually not paying attention to our kids.
Uh-huh.
And yeah,
Well, have you seen those videos? Speaking of social media, have you seen those videos where, the little toddler is trying to get the parents' attention and they're so focused on that phone that then the kids start like to mimic that behavior. And that song, Cats in the Cradle, starts playing in my head. How
absolutely.
sad.
I've got this little thing that I refer to. What does your child's behavior mean? And it goes through a number of them. But kids who disrespect you are always showing that they don't feel connected enough to you. And if you're connected to this, then your
Uh-huh.
kid is not. You're not connecting to your kid. There goes Ralphie.
Yeah.
So we got
There's
okay. So
yeah.
the door.
Well, and that's, they beat that into our brains too when we're teaching, that they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah,
And there is that is a great point to make, that yeah, of course you have to care about them, and we all do as human beings. But that whole thing about, I'm not going to be their friend to be able to do my job the way I'm supposed to do my job. I
right.
can show you that I care and be respectful as your parent, but I'm not going to be your best friend. Not until you've grown up and become a responsible, sentient adult can we even think about being friends. So,
Absolutely. And that, like, you just hit the nail on the head. I tell a lot of my clients, obviously the adults, not the kids,
right, yeah.
you like, if you parent now, you get to be friends later. And if you
Hmm.
friend now, you have to be a parent for the rest of this kid's lifetime.
Absolutely.
Because you're not, like, it can be boiled down into all of these little things that you're doing to making your child's life easier is actually taking away their independence. You're
Right.
taking away their self-sufficiency. You're taking
Yeah.
away all of these skills that they need in order to
Mhm.
be independent.
Right. And I
So,
see that play out later in the classroom when the parents get so mad that I give a kid back their assignment. It's like, you didn't even follow the directions. Just do it again. I'm not failing you for it. I just need you to meet the standard, meet the basic standard, do it right.
right.
Don't just hand it in and say, I did it, and then I give you a grade and okay, done. It's like, that's not my job. My job is to get you to master skills and to grow, not
Right.
to make life easy on you. And it's like, okay, turn in, no, do it correctly. well, then, you're so mean. But it's like, but
That's
you have to understand.
it's okay. The mean. Let's take a look at that. Um, right versus wrong. Okay,
Mhm,
mean,
mhm.
not mean.
Right,
How about it's not right or wrong at all. It's right and left, and it's all
yeah,
a matter of perspective. Because
right,
there is no right,
right,
there is no left.
correct.
All it's all where am I standing? So it's
Yeah,
all a matter
yeah,
of perspective. So
hmm,
if you say it's shiny over here on your right, but I
yeah,
turn around, then that's my left.
that's your left.
And we can keep that dance going.
Right.
And the whole point of that is that everything is a matter of perspective.
Hmm. Good
So
point.
from that mindset, it doesn't matter whether the kid thinks you're mean. You're
Right.
doing what is needed at that time. And
Yeah.
so it's right and left. It's the perspective, not, oh,
Mhm.
this is wrong because the kid's unhappy. Well,
Yeah.
the the kid is not a fully developed, civilized individual yet, and so it's okay if they're not happy with all of the things that, like you and I as adults, we're not happy with all of the things that we have to put up with and do, right?
Right.
If I could get
Oh,
away
yeah.
with never doing the dishes again, I'm okay with that.
I'm down for that. Yeah.
So again, it's not right and wrong, it's right and left. And so like if there are any parents out here watching us, because we're, like we're brand new at this, and so
Right. Yeah.
the big takeaway, we want to have like a big takeaway from each one of our little, like, I don't know, sessions. I hate
Or
to call it a session.
chats.
Chat. Let's call it a chat because it's
Yeah.
a session is what I do, and that's not.
Yeah. That's your thing.
But the like, the essence of this chat is don't don't try and worry about being a friend. Don't worry about right and wrong. That's
Hmm.
perspective. You have to have your perspective as a parent that is going to be way different from the kid's perspective and
Hmm.
from the teacher's perspective, and that's what it should be.
Right. And I think, and that goes perfectly back to why we're calling this parenting is not a trend,
Right.
because it's not a trend. It's you are the expert on your child.
Exactly.
Even the expert in behavior, I'm not an expert on your child. He may be in my classroom for an hour a day, so 5 hours out of the week is all I see him. There's no way I can be an expert on him. You are, as the parent, you're the expert. You know what works really well and what doesn't. I can implement that,
Right.
keeping in mind that I have 36 other beings in my class that need to have their specific needs all met as well. I would do my best to take care of that, but you're the expert. I'm not. So I'm not going to tell you how to parent at home. You can help me in the classroom by all means,
Right.
but I can't tell you what to do with your child at home because I only know him for an hour a day.
Exactly.
You grew up with this child. You know all of the ins and outs. You know the backstory. You know the hurts. You know the boo-boos.
And here's the thing: if you don't, you're paying attention to the wrong thing. If you do
Exactly.
not know all of your children's likes and dislikes and hobbies and habits,
Hmm.
then you got to adjust what you're paying attention to because you should be the expert in your child.
Exactly. Yeah, and not the trend on Instagram. That
Exactly.
doesn't matter. Your child is the only thing that should be trending in your life.
Right. Exactly. And I want to touch real quickly on why we said, this is, we're going to explain how Gen X ruined your life.
Oh yeah.
And the reason I guess we're incorporating that in is because we're Gen X.
Because we're
And
Gen X and we've ruined everything.
we ruined everything. We're getting the blame for everything.
Yeah.
There's so many parents that are my own kids' age that are saying, well, I never wanted to do it the way my parents did it, which
Hmm.
their parents are Gen Xers. So all
Yeah.
of the things that are going wrong now with children like throwing tantrums of epic proportions. Like I was talking yesterday with a new client where they literally owed Disney about $1,000 because their 10-year-old had a fit through the remote control, broke the TV at the hotel. So, this is how Gen X has ruined the world because we apparently we ruined parents to the point that now they're blaming all of these behaviors on us.
Hmm. Yeah, all of the problems are our fault. Well, and that story that I shared with you that came out of nowhere, student I had 13 years ago. It's like telling me that I've basically ruined this person's life and her life has fallen apart because I was so mean and called her stupid. And never in my life have I called a student stupid ever.
But if you're following some of that broken logic, which that's pretty
Yeah,
much what we deal with a lot, both of us,
right,
is that they're saying that if I didn't get an A, that means I'm stupid. So if you didn't give an A, you're calling somebody stupid.
right.
And
And
that's
there's also that I don't give A's, you have to earn it.
exactly.
Nobody wants to take that responsibility on themselves. And I don't know that Gen X parents are the ones doing that, or if we just want our kids to be, well, again, my kids now are, like I said, in their 30s. So the young ones now, I think, are a different generation now, being parented by a different generation. Yeah.
I'm like what I see is a little bit of everything, and so
Yeah.
because also a lot of parents are starting later, and so
Oh, right.
a lot of the new parents that I'm getting are in their 30s and 40s, and
Hmm.
so we would definitely be the ones responsible for that.
Yeah.
But to that exact point, um, or I guess I just have a question. If we had had the same kind of cultural phenomenon, the technology,
Hmm.
like if we'd have had the advice at the tip of our swiping finger
Right.
and not
Right.
a long distance phone call to mom,
Yeah.
what would choices would we have made as new parents
Hmm.
as well? And
Right.
especially when, like, you think back, I know there were things that my parents did that I didn't like, that I was like, oh,
Right.
I'm gonna change that. I'm not gonna make that mistake. I made brand new ones. But uh, um, again, when the only resource is call mom, plug into
Yeah.
that community,
Right.
that was the community that we chose. Would
Right.
we have been doing the same thing if that other community had been available to us?
Yeah. Because it is so much easier to just jump on and punch a couple buttons than it is to call mom.